future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com. Love, it's not always an easy thing, but when you find it, there's nothing like it. And Finding Cupid with David Cruz is here to help you do just that. It's a show where celebrity guests, singers, writers, and friends all come together to talk about one thing: love. Finding Cupid with David Cruz, only on ubnradio.com.
Good morning and welcome to Finding Cupid Radio. My name is David Cruz. You're listening to the Finding Cupid Radio show coming to you live from Sunset Gower Studios. It's another amazing, gorgeous Sunday here in Hollywood. Yes, Shawn, you're agreeing
beautiful,
with me.
Yeah.
It is, listen, I've been traveling the last few weeks and it is snowing and frigid cold in certain places. Sorry, New York. Sorry, East Coast. Sorry, everyone else but California.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. But it is gorgeous today. The sun is shining. Yesterday, Ellie was naked running on the streets. People were just like out in their summer bods early, reminding people like me that I should have started over the winter, like the saying goes. But I wasn't. But I appreciated the half naked, if not fully naked bodies that were running along the boulevards.
Wait. What happened? I don't think I've even heard
We
of
live
this.
in West Hollywood.
Hello.
Everyone's naked.
I
Los
must have-
Angeles. Or
There was a naked run?
people just run shirtless and run in skinny, almost, they're not even shorts. They're just fabric with an elastic waist.
Very nice.
So, Los Angelinos.
Boys and girls?
Boys and girls.
yeah.
Ooh.
They were everywhere, reminding us of why we live here. Anyways, it was a gorgeous Sunday. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I'd like to introduce and welcome my co-host, Shawn Michael is here.
Hello.
And then Davina, Adjani is
Hello.
here. And a very special guest sitting here in the wings, Harry T. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we love you. Personal friend. I think that you and I have talked. We know each other outside of this, and we kept saying, let's make this happen.
Totally.
Let's make it happen. New year, everything. And finally, you're here.
Oh my
so
God.
excited.
I'm so happy to be
So
here.
excited that we're just talking on the air and just not being drunk like we normally are. Nothing wrong with that, folks. It'll happen after
Yeah.
this. It's Sunday in LA. It's beautiful outside. Anyways, you're here. I'm so excited to have you. For those of you just tuning in, Harry is here. He is an international. I'm just going to overdo it here. Okay, overdo it.
Feel free.
Celebrity, medium. You're a TV personality. You're from Australia,
Right.
Down under, which I'm from Guam. I'm just that tiny little speck of an island right north of Australia. Nobody knows where that is. But you're famous there.
Well,
You're
yeah.
a big deal.
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, I do my stuff. And
Yeah.
I am from Australia, which
Yeah.
I love. I'm very proud to be Australian.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to be here in beautiful LA.
Yeah.
I love the weather here. You were saying that before.
Right? Don't
about-
you love it? Did you witness any of the half-naked people out yesterday
I
doing a
didn't.
jog, quote unquote?
I didn't. I was just kind of like on my computer working away, which probably I shouldn't have because it was such good weather.
Yeah.
You'll
You'll learn.
I will learn. That's fine. Bit of a workaholic. But yeah, so I
Listen, you take the laptop to any Starbucks, on a main street,
Yeah.
Santa Monica, West Hollywood. You'll see them running around.
So
But
you
how
so you
can I
pretend to
work?
work.
Yeah.
You pretend to work, and then you just
You're like one of those
what-
poser hipsters.
What you do is that you put the laptop on top of the laptop, you can see the street, and then you just kind of like pretend to work while watching the naked runners.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if like something happens and I drop my laptop and then everyone will know and I'm like, oh, I was just watching you.
Well, no, because they're so busy watching the runners anyway. They won't watch you.
I don't care.
So the reason why Angelinos wear sunglasses, sometimes we're teased about this. It's not because there's too much sun, because we love it. It's because there's a lot of people to look at and we don't want to break our necks. So if we lift our sunglasses, you'll just see darting eyes left to right.
You know what? I believe that. I believe that.
It's true. It's a true story. Anyways, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to you a little bit later. You're going to tell us not only how to use our intuition, but how to listen to it and how to make better decisions as a dater, a single dater. Davina, sorry, it's just allergies.
Matt, come back.
I know. We're missing Matt, who's, he is taking a little vacation this weekend, but unfortunately, Davina, you will be our target today.
I'm the victim today.
Not that we're at target practice, but so today we're going to just talk about how to use those inner voices to our advantage, and you're going to help guide us through that. And we're going to get to know you a little bit more too.
I'm so excited to share.
But until then, you're going to just join us on the journey that we call Finding Cupid Radio. So buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride.
Oh, I'm
A bumpy
excited.
ride.
Oh my God.
Hey.
No, you are so dumb.
So
That was amazing.
Is that Matt?
everything's-
No, that's his boyfriend.
depends on how many drinks. Matt doesn't have a boyfriend.
That's right,
We're
sorry.
actively looking. So speaking of, Matt came to, well, you were there and I had a Finding Cupid family last weekend.
Yes.
Matt came to the speed dating event that I did, and then Shawn and your girlfriend showed up
Yep.
as well. And really, what we did was we stood along
And we judged everybody.
and we drank.
We
Sorry.
drank and then we judged everybody.
Okay, all right. Let's use both of those
Yeah.
words. We didn't judge anyone.
No, we didn't. It was great. It was so much fun. It was at the Birdcage.
Yeah, in Santa Monica.
Yeah, and
Love
it
them.
was fantastic. I got to see it in person.
Yeah.
People rotated. They had a good time. They met other singles. It was great.
Have you ever been to a speed dating event?
I have. Like a long time ago. I have. And it wasn't like that. It was very rigid.
Yeah.
It was usually at a table. There was a buzzer.
Yeah.
This was much better.
This was modern.
Yeah.
So if any of you want to attend a speed dating event, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, social media, all
Do
that
it.
fun stuff.
It's
'cause,
fun.
We do it right.
I should've
And then I
gone.
saw Davina on Wednesday.
Yes, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. The first time I've ever done an event on Valentine's Day. Typically, I'm locked down on husband duty, which is always so fun. But this year I had an event and threw it in West Hollywood. We did the Love Ball. And, single gay men came, partied, and
then me.
and then Davina was there.
I had a great time. I don't know why. I had so much fun.
I was so tired. I want to mention this because I had early day and it was Valentine's. So my energy, if any of you followed me on Instagram that day, it was like 5 a.m. It's like I had 10 cups of coffee. Cupid was on it. It's like I did Cupid crack. And
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, it's Valentine's Day. So exciting. I was in the car driving. Then an Ed Sheeran song came on. I was like, everyone needs to know that this is the best song ever.
Oh my God.
Pulling out the
Wow.
Instagram. I don't know why I didn't crash in my car that day because I was like,
You were divinely protected.
thank God.
Apparently.
The many dead Cupids of past have been, they were guiding, protecting my
They were
car.
hovering over with the
They
arrows,
were.
going,
They
"You're
were.
not crashing. We're just going to shoot
Not
the arrow
today.
of love."
Yeah,
Not
right?
today, Satans, they said. But Davina joined us that night. I was tired. I really wanted to go out because you were like going to party afterwards.
Oh yeah. Well, I was with a straight male, by the way. So it
Who I
wasn't-
love.
Yeah,
Yes.
who's a bro. And
Yeah.
we had a great time. We went to Mickey's and we went to the Abbey. Like we
She
went.
did it right. She did a
Yeah,
West Hollywood
we went
night.
all out. So
So Valentine's Day was also another special day for one of our other co-hosts
Yes.
here.
It
It was for Shawn. Shawn, tell the
What
kids at home
happened?
what happened on Valentine's
Oh, Valentine's Day. I got engaged.
Day. Ah!
Can you believe it?
yeah.
No, it was. I didn't want to sort of even suggest that was going to happen. I wanted to be a full surprise, and I surprised my girlfriend when she came home. Mm-hmm. And there's pictures. So basically I set up a whole huge setup with probably thousands of flowers in our apartment and candles everywhere, and
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. It was
So-
fantastic.
the
Did
funny.
you cry?
Did I cry?
Yeah.
I got teary-eyed because she started bawling. And when she gets so emotional, it hit me much harder than I thought, because I was trying to be collected, because there was a sequence to how I wanted things to go, and I had to execute it, right? And she shows up at the door. She opens the door. She sees everything, and she just like melts immediately, like into a ball of crying and
ball of love.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to compose myself because I have to get her into a position,
right?
So that there was like a thing going, and I was like, all right, let's go over here. Let me show you something, So it was harder than I thought, actually. So emotionally,
yeah. I remember when my husband proposed to me. We were at a public space, which I cannot even imagine what goes through. We did it at the Getty Villa in Malibu. Sounds fancy when
beautiful.
I say it out loud like that. But I was literally completely taken off guard. And I can't imagine, in retrospect, when I'm looking back and he's telling me the story, he's like, I was such a mess, and you kept doing these things that were not going to the plan that I had in my head. So I can't imagine, as you get overwhelmed with emotion, how you're trying to keep the train going.
It's hard.
So the funny story about this is that Shawn, when he showed up to the birdcage to support his fellow Cupid members, we're 4 deep of mimosas. All right, 5. When we're having a good time, I'm doing this thing, I'm hosting this thing, Matt's there, you're there, Danielle's there. And in the middle of all this, Shawn's like, yeah, I'm going to propose to Danielle on Valentine's Day. Matt and I
almost burst into tears right there.
If we were Disney cartoon sidekicks, I'm trying to think of like crazy. I mean, we went from talking to squeal first, and then he's like, "Oh my God, calm down! You just can't say anything. Don't she's And we're like, "Why would you tell us this here? When I was
And I'm like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?"
Yes,
it sounds like they got proposed to.
Yeah, we tried. It was intense, and so it was so hard for me to like reel it back in. And then pretend nothing happened. I think I just walked away. I was like,
I have to get out of here. Yeah.
So
that's so romantic.
It was good. The best thing about it was, just your genuine happiness. And it was funny because Valentine's Day, so much going on, and we didn't hear about it for a while. Then we were like, Matt and I were texting, and we're like, did that happen? Like, we didn't see anything on Facebook or anything. And so we with caution, we were texting. We were like, what if it didn't happen? And then I didn't want to follow up, And then because you guys are so private, we were like, following up on your Facebook. Maybe they announced it, and we'll text you.
You guys both need a life.
Listen, who are you talking
David
about?
loves love.
This is my jam
like
here.
Stalking your Facebook.
So, and then we didn't see anything. And so, so then we were like, oh shit, what do we do? We need to find out.
And then they held a press conference.
Literally, wow. Listen. So then I text you, and literally my one word was so ... And it was like, and then it was a delayed response too. I was like, oh God, please let it have happened because I don't want to hear a story. Oh my God, it was so crazy. So anyways, you send us a photo, and we're so excited.
Yeah.
And you tell us everything.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, after that, it was a whirlwind because she really wanted to announce it to the world. So we were like calling everyone, and she retells the story over and over again to everyone.
Get used to
So
it. You're gonna tell it for a while.
I know.
For months, you're gonna tell it.
This is like this is what she is like. She loves doing this kind of stuff. So. Yeah, so I have to have her have her moment for the next 3 months.
Aww, I love that.
I love it.
We're just gonna, answer the front door here, and we're just gonna say, get her on the line, right?
Oh, are you calling her?
Oh my God, yes. Do you know how to call her?
Oh, wow, he's got her number and everything.
Well, after last week.
You little rascals.
Danielle?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, jeez. Hi, babe.
Hello.
Good morning, sweetie.
Good morning.
First of all, thank you so much for being up early and getting on board this love train this morning because we wanted to call you and hear straight from you as well. How was your Valentine's Day?
Oh my god.
Oh my God, my Valentine's Day was the most special Valentine's Day I've ever had.
Oh.
What was going? Okay, you just get home from work. You're like my husband. You work in a hospital. You come home. At the end of any long day, no one's prepared for being proposed to and being super gushy and romantic. Walk me through that first emotion that you felt when you walked in and saw what was happening.
So I come home in my scrubs, no makeup, and I open the door, and immediately my favorite song, my most romantic song, comes on. And there's flowers.
Wait, what was the song? Hold on.
Hold on. What was the song?
It's Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but it's the Hawaiian version.
Aww.
Like
You're so
I
stupid.
immediately start crying, and then I think, I wish I would have worn my tight scrubs.
First of all, didn't know there were sexy scrubs.
Yeah.
Thank you for enlightening us. Okay.
Everyone that works in a hospital has at least one pair of sexy scrubs.
Sexy
Like the ones
scrubs.
that fit just like a little tighter than the rest.
Oh, gotcha. In my head, they're like, Lululemon scrubby things. I don't know. So you're overwhelmed. You hear the song, and then you see this handsome man. I mean, do you have to look for him? 'Cause I couldn't tell from the photo.
No, so when she walked in, I was wearing a full suit, obviously,
Yeah.
nice, and then I had 24 roses in my hand. So she walks in, I'm greeting her at the door.
This is so
I mean,
cute.
24 roses in like a sea of like hundreds of roses.
Hundreds.
It was incredible. It was flower heaven. It smelled so good. It smelled like roses in our entire apartment. And there was this rose walkway that led to the table, like this table where he had champagne and
Dom Perignon.
this video.
I'm gonna just
I know.
footnote some
Shawn is
things.
the most romantic human on the planet, and every detail is like planned to like the nine.
Walk
And
me
he had
through.
this video. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, and then he had this video montage of like pictures of us from like like our years together. It was so sweet.
And this was playing on the videos, the TV screen in front. in
Yeah,
back
this
of
was
him.
playing right on the TV screen in front of us.
Sweet Jesus.
Wow.
And then he said, "Oh, I've got one more picture for you. You have to look over here." And then I look, and it says, "Will you marry me?" And I turn quickly around to see him, and he's like already on his knee with like
It was all
the ring box in
planned
his
just
hand.
right.
I've got goosebumps.
You're dying over there, right? I'm
Oh
dying.
my God. By the way, hi, I'm Harry. And I'm listening to your story, and this is like so romantic. And
Right?
can I tell you, I'm obviously like opposite Shawn, and as you're telling this story, I'm looking at him and I can see him reliving it in his head. And it's like he loves it just as much as you did.
I love that. Oh, it's so
How
cute.
amazing is that?
Danielle, at what point did you start just crying?
Immediately.
As soon as I opened the door, and he immediately turned the song on, and as soon as I heard the song, I just started bawling. Like, and I'm not talking like, oh, like a cute like couple of tears. I was crying.
It was
ugly
cry. I love ugly cry.
In the scrubs.
In the
Yeah.
I
scrubs.
love
Yeah,
that.
and in the loose
In the
scrubs,
loose
no makeup.
scrubs.
Fucking loose scrubs. I mean, Jesus.
And,
so
and
handsome.
so the best part is that it was in private. So
Yeah.
the problem with private is that you can't record it. There's nobody there to take a picture. But I set up a video camera,
Oh, you did?
Good.
and I was wearing a microphone on me.
God.
She didn't see it. It was a hidden little lapel one.
Oh my God.
And she had no idea. So we have the whole thing, and I just finished editing the whole thing, and it's like you can hear the ugly cry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make out anything I'm saying. The only
She
thing
just-
is
yeah,
Inaudible.
me, like
Inaudible cries.
wailing.
Yeah, it's
That is
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to you, Danielle. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And we're so happy to be part of this journey. We knew Shawn prior to you. We knew Shawn during the dating experience. Our little guy has grown up so much over the last couple years. And we love you to death. I don't think you...
Oh, I love you guys.
I think you know that, of course. But we're so happy for you both. And obviously, continued happiness and wishes to you. And, let the games begin.
The Pinterest boards and everything.
So excited. And I just love telling the story. So thank you so much for having me on.
You're
Anyone
so
that will
welcome.
listen, even the girl behind me in the grocery store, I'm telling. So.
You know what? It is the best part. I've been there, done that. Trust me. And for those of you who want to know a little bit more about what Shawn felt during that whole presentation in his proposal, and to see the photos from his engagement or his proposal, I should say, you can head to finding-cupid.com. Danielle, we have his opinion on how he was feeling that day up on that, including all the pictures from the proposal. So head to finding-cupid.com now to see all of that. Thank you, Danielle, for taking our call, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good show.
Bye. Oh, Shawn.
She's adorable.
She's the best. Shawn.
Okay, so you've done well because, look, I don't know you, but but clearly, you went through the dating experience, and I think she is a keeper.
I know.
adorable.
Well, David knows I've been on a lot of dates when I was single. When I say a lot, I mean hundreds.
You're a serial dater.
I was a serial, hundreds of first dates. And with Danielle, the first date, I knew. I remember coming home, and I remember seeing my friends, and I was like, she's the one. And they're like, whatever, and I was like, no, this is it.
But that was his intuition.
What was that in your head? Speaking of the intuition, what was it that spoke to you about it? What was
I'm gonna tell you.
Please.
She was insanely genuine, and we had an insane connection and chemistry on the date. And I remember saying on the date that I was drunk.
I think she's the one.
She's the one. No, what? So
she's the one for me.
we went through 3 different locations, 3 different bars. So it was like a 4-hour date, which was fantastic.
By the way, you
loved
took us to one of your bars on your first date, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I loved it.
Well, in wine, there's truth, so maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah. So I remember we had such an amazing connection. I remember telling her that I felt like this wasn't real, and that she was she must be pretending or something, for my sake, because it was so strong. The chemistry was so strong.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, that's kind of what it is.
You know what I almost think that was? That was almost like the universe saying, this is the one to you. When you feel like it's not real, because you've had so many dates previously that were whatever, you compare it and you think, wait, but this doesn't feel real because it's so different. You almost feel like it's not like the others.
Right.
That's how you knew.
That's true.
Look at that
That's how you
intuition
knew.
right there.
you go.
Well, thank you, Shawn, for sharing.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
So cute.
And if you weren't crying listening to that,
You have no heart.
You're not human.
Can I tell you, I don't really have tear ducts, and and I was so moved by that, so moved by that.
It
They
was
call
so
me hard-hearted
adorable,
Harry.
right?
But I love. But that really moved me.
It was cute. It was
because
absolutely
she was
cute.
just full of love for you, and I think you are too. Oh, I'm so happy for them.
I
thank
am
you.
all about it. All right, guys, we got to move on with the show. But the warmest fuzzy ever this morning. Right now, we got to move on. We got to do Love It or Lose It right now. So
Let's do
for all of you who don't know, there's this fun part of the show that we do called Love It or Lose It, and we talk about everything in the news. So let's get to it.
And now it's time for Love It or
My
Lose
music.
It.
It's back.
See, I'm a little gay.
I'm sorry. Everybody is a little gay.
I'll be honest. I dance like a gay guy, and I love music. I do. I don't even care if anybody knows. Danielle knows. It's fine.
That was so
He's
straight of
engaged
you.
now. He can say these things.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Dancing.
He's like, I'm taken now.
It's okay. Anyways. Well, you know what? Just for you, we have this.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is going to be Shawn's wedding march.
Oh God. There you go.
with flaming batons.
It's the wedding march, but done style.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
It's
then
great.
you like
Just me grinding, yeah. Shirtless.
All right. Yeah. But just a bow tie.
Yeah, just a bow tie, yeah.
Oh, Danielle, look what you married.
She's so happy at home.
God. All right, guys. In Love It or Lose It today, we have a bunch of fun stuff, and we'll get quickly through it because wedding stuff is fun to talk about. But here we are. So imagine living in a city that was dubbed the worst city in the world to find love in. But that's what happens. There is a city on the East Coast, on the East Coast. And where is
Which one is it? Which city on the East
I
Coast?
don't even know.
Isn't it New York?
Syracuse. Here it is.
Syracuse.
Yeah, look at my papers right. Syracuse, according to a recent survey, let's see how many people were in this survey. 11,000 singles in the United States and 70 cities were surveyed. And according to the survey, Syracuse is the worst city for finding love in terms of dating satisfaction by a massive margin. So Syracuse, I'm sorry. If you're single, move out. Number 2 was, let me see, Bridgeport, Connecticut. And then number 3 was New Haven, Connecticut. Connecticut.
Connecticut.
What?
I love how the quote is, "This is the city where love goes to die." This is the quote from the article.
Oh my gosh.
That is, I would move. I'm sorry. I would move.
What do you
Straight
think
to
it
the
is that
airport.
makes it bad there? What do you think? What's
the weather? I don't know.
Well,
I
weather
want to
is.
say, yeah, maybe it's the weather.
But there's bad weather, in the Midwest. There's bad weather in Canada. That I don't know if it's the weather.
Well, from an
Canada's
energetic point of view, I think there's something called like a collective consciousness. So
Okay.
where you are and the people that surround you, you almost blend in. So if it is really saturated with such not good love stories, I actually think that it's adding to that.
Interesting.
So instead of it almost like balancing, it's probably like just amplifying.
Yeah.
Because there are so many. So people probably should start to shift that. So try to find love people for the sake of your city.
or else the population will be going down,
Right.
and then it'll just be, Detroit.
What's
sorry,
the,
moving on. Just
what's
kidding.
the best city, by the way?
They didn't say. I didn't care.
What do we think the best
No,
city is?
the best city is California. It was just named
That's right,
the
that's
best
right. We
city
said
in
that,
last
yeah.
show.
It's because everyone's
Um,
happy here.
Yeah.
And there's sun and naked people running around, apparently.
Yeah.
So, Harry, what we love to do is we comment on this. Do we love the news story or do you want to lose it? So you'll go first this
Okay.
time. Do you love it or lose it?
This one?
Yeah.
The one that we just spoke about? Well,
Do you love it or lose it?
I'm going to have to love it
Okay.
because there's so not much love in those cities. We need to add some love into it. I would love it.
Okay. Davina?
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
Yeah,
Sean?
sure. Let's love it.
All right. All of us love it. All right. Okay. Great.
We just got surveyed.
Oh my god.
Everyone knows the Match Group, right? If you are in the dating business, Match Group, which is Match.com, and then they own a ton of dating apps and a ton of dating websites.
Tinder. They own
Tinder, they own. Hold on, where's my Okay, Cupid, Our Time, which is the old people one. I mean the gently aged one.
Senior
Plenty of Fish. They,
Wait, they own Plenty of Fish too?
yeah,
Is there anything they don't own besides Bumble?
they don't own Bumble, but they're courting them
Grindr?
hard.
I know.
Hard.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the new CEO that took over, she is saying that big changes are coming in 2018 because she wants to make it so that the female experience is respected. And as you've seen in their competitor that they keep going after at Bumble, and Bumble has been doing this quite well over the last few years, I want to say. Everyone knows, like Tinder, you don't go there, you get dick pics, you go everywhere, and it's just like it's nasty. So they're saying, the new CEO is saying that there's new things coming. They're trying to introduce a new thing, Bumble-like at Tinder, where the woman, it's an additional part of the app that they're going to introduce that the woman gets to choose first. So interesting things coming. I don't know if this is genuine, so I'm a little off the rocker on this one because I don't know if this is like a genuine push to do it or if they're just trying to feed off of the Me Too
Bumble.
movement, the Bumble thing. Like, I don't know.
It's marketing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think
It's
so
marketing.
too?
Let's just get real. I think
marketing.
it is, and I think, I am on Bumble, FYI.
Yeah.
Obviously, but, not for women. But, it is popular because of the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, the strategy of incorporating that into their existing app makes sense from a marketing point of view.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Tinder user who's now gone to Bumble.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, they want people like me to stay on Tinder.
Right.
Well, Tinder's losing a lot, the war, to be honest, because
Yeah.
you're right. Most women don't want to be on Tinder. They want to be on Bumble.
Yeah.
And not because I think of the dick pics, but because the quality of the men is higher on Bumble, right?
like
100%, right?
100%.
So Tinder knows that they're losing numbers. Bumble is slowly starting to make a lot more money. You can see in the app ranking now, Bumble
Yeah.
is climbing up and Tinder is going down. So they're like, well, we got to do something. Let's do what Bumble's doing.
Do you know,
Exactly.
can I also tell you, for me to make my Bumble profile was so much harder
Right.
than making my Tinder one.
Which is good.
Which I loved.
Yes.
What do you mean it was harder?
Well, it was not like just 2 words and that was
connect
it. I had to
your-
get verified. I had to do
Oh, really?
I had to sync everything, and
Yeah,
it was
you
like
have
a
to connect,
legitimate
like, your
profile.
Instagram, all
They
that
check
stuff.
your photos too. Like if they
To make sure
if
it's
they think
you.
a photo is not appropriate, they
Yeah,
Is that
which I
right?
love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love
So
that.
yeah, Bumble gets my approval.
I
Yeah.
love Bumble, and I love Chappie too, which is their younger gay brother. So, are you on
Ooh,
Chappie?
I should go on that.
Go on Chappie.
Oh, I'm writing that down.
Maybe you'll see Matt. He's on there.
Oh yeah, Matt, email me.
oh my gosh.
I see what's happening
Love
here.
that.
Love connections.
So I don't know. What do we think? I'll go around here. Shawn, I'll start with you. Love it or lose it?
I love the part of it that they're trying to make the app better. I hate the fakeness of them coming through now. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
they're doing it because they need the money. They're not
Right.
doing it because they authentically care.
Right.
Let's be honest. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Sure, I love it.
Really?
Well, I mean, lose it. I mean,
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Yes or no?
Pick a
No.
side.
No.
All
No.
right. He hates it. All right.
Yeah.
He loses it then. Davina.
Lose it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. We got her here. Harry.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think lose it too. I think, just stay as you are. And if that means that you've got low caliber people, just keep them.
All right. So collectively, Team Cupid says we hate it and we lose it. So, all right. Last but not least, moving on to Sally Field. She's coming after me in my career. She wants to play matchmaker, and she is doing it with her son. This I love. Whoa, that sounded weird. She is pretending to be a matchmaker for her son. That's what I tried to say.
Much better.
There we go. Take 2. So her son and her apparently were going, and she's very close to her 3 sons. She has 3 sons, and her younger son is gay. And Sally Field has been very active in the LGBT community. She was recently honored with an award from HRC. So she's very close to her gay son, as every mother should be. But her and her son were texting back and forth over the last couple days, and she and her son, her son revealed to her that he thinks that Adam Rippon, who is the most beloved U.S. skater at the moment, he's kind of raced to
He's
the
amazing.
top. Everyone loves him. Of the moment, he's the guy. Him and Gus Kentworthy, who are the 2 first out gay Olympians from the United States. And they are just taking over social. It's kind of been like a fun story to watch as you go through the Olympics and you watch. Last night, Gus kissed his boyfriend after one of his events, and that made it was on air for the first time. They've never seen an out gay Olympian kiss their significant other. So this was a massive thing. So not to dive too deep into the politics here, but so, Sally Field and her son were going back and forth, and she knew that the son had a crush on Adam. And she, of course, screenshot it and then tweeted it out to everyone. And then, of course, her son was like, Jesus, Mom, why did you put that on Twitter? And then she responded and tagged Adam in it. And so she's trying to make the love connection happen via social media. Adam is single. And so is her son. And so, I don't know. What do you guys think? Mom playing matchmaker?
I love it.
Celebrity mom playing matchmaker?
Look, I love it, but I actually feel like I should intrude. Just to ruffle the feathers. Why not?
Girl, but what about me?
What about me?
Have you guys ever had any of your family members play
Oh
matchmaker?
my God. Yes.
I mean, is it
My mother.
okay? So your mom does it too.
Yeah.
Do you like this? I mean, do you think it's intrusive of Sally
but-
to be doing this with her
No,
son?
I actually like it because I think it's important, especially like not to get political, but like have a mom be standing behind her gay son trying to set him up with a guy. Why not? I mean, I don't think we've
But
seen
on
that.
Twitter.
Yeah.
But I like that it's so public.
It's cute.
She's probably
actually.
doing
But
that to
okay,
get more
like-
retweets.
Like, imagine if your mom tweeted
But
like,
I'm not a gay guy.
no, but irregardless, right? It's like I don't think it's a gay thing. It's more like a mom and son thing, right?
Right.
Because if your mom was like, "Sweetie, like there's this guy that works in my office that you should really like hook up," like you know what I mean?
If I thought he
on
was
Twitter,
hot?
but on Twitter, just for everybody to see.
But if I'm agreeing to it, right?
So you like it?
So you
I
like
like
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
But
I don't
even
mind
if
it
it's
either.
your mom doing it in a public space.
If I like the guy, why not?
All right. So
All right.
fair enough. Sorry.
Look, social media has taken over the world now. So in many ways, is it the most conventional style? Probably not. But then again, we don't live in the most conventional world.
No.
So I think it's fine. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Good, because I love it too. Sally, I mean, first of all, who says no to Sally Field?
Yeah.
I would die if Sally Field
Tweet
was
us.
my
tweet
mom,
me.
and then was. I mean, it's a very exceptional situation. You have a celebrity mom dealing with her out gay son, dealing with a celebrity of the moment Olympian. I mean, wow,
That's what makes it so cool.
it's adorable.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
so cute. So I mean, I love it. Sean,
I lose it.
lose it.
My mom has tried to set me up, like like when I was single, and it's always like I and my mom lives in Israel, and she always does this. So she's like, I have this woman in my office. I'm like,
Oh God.
you live in Israel. Like, what do you think is? She's like, yes, but I can set it up. I'm like, set what up? Like Skype call? Like, what are we gonna do?
Oh, that's hilarious.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe I have a bad experience with this. I don't know. Lose it for me.
All right, well, Sean's out. So Davina, Harry, and David, we're all in. We think it's super cute. So majority wins. Sorry, Sean.
That's
Yeah.
all right. What are you
Sally, keep on doing what you're doing. I'm personally going to follow this myself, so I want to see what happens if it does. We'll see. I mean, they're just two gay guys. Who even knows if they're even compatible? But I'm going to live with the fairy tale in my head, just so everybody knows. And we'll see what happens. So anyways, thank you so much for this edition of Love It or Lose It, for listening to our commentary. Thank you, Harry, for joining us. For more information on all of the things we talked about, of course, go to finding-cupid.com to hear more and to share your comments about all of the stories that we talked about here today. Moving on, today, our special guest in the studio is Harry T. Harry, you are, like we said at the top of the show, famous, and you look at me with such
You're
a serious
big
face.
deal.
Yes, you're a big deal. And I want to clarify some terms here because some people don't know the differences. You're described as a medium. Is that the same thing as a psychic? Do you consider yourself a psychic as well?
That's a great question. People do mistake the two.
Yeah.
I am a medium, which means that I'm also psychic. But when someone is a psychic, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a medium. So basically,
Right.
I was born this way with the ability to communicate with people who have passed over. So naturally, I have a heightened intuition, which enables me to pick up on things psychically as well as conversing with departed loved ones. So a medium is psychic as well as able to speak to the deceased. A psychic picks up on the energy, which everybody actually can, okay? But that doesn't make them a medium.
Got
So
it.
that's why I'm more known as a medium, because I'm able to do both.
Right.
But I kind of call myself a psychic medium, so that kind of helps people know that I do both.
And you have done sessions with celebrities.
Right.
You're really big in Australia. You're
Right.
you've been on the Australia Today show. I
Right.
mean, you're like everywhere.
Yeah.
So thank you for blessing our little
Yeah.
studio with
Thank
your
you.
face.
And that's a big statement, because my work isn't necessarily mainstream. However, I am very mainstream. So I've been a reoccurring guest on the Today Show.
Yes.
I've got a radio segment back home on the #1 radio show that's nationwide.
Awesome.
2 million listeners. Like it's a huge thing, and I'm very blessed to do this work in a big way. And now I'm in Los Angeles.
Look at
Yeah.
Which I'm so excited.
Oh my
and
God.
I love working with celebrities, not because they're celebrities, but because they've got a big voice.
Yeah.
And it gets the message out there. And my work is so transforming. And I see so many people's lives change after a reading. So when someone has like, 2 million followers and they kind of do a tweet or they kind of do a post and they say, I just had this amazing reading, it's not necessarily for my ego. It's more so people out there that follow them know that what I do isn't just hocus pocus.
Right.
It is very healing and quite beautiful.
You sat down with Larry King recently.
I did.
Rocky himself.
Sylvester Stallone. He was amazing.
So, I mean, talk to me. I mean, is it any more scary to go into like a celebrity versus like an everyday person?
Not really. I'm kind of lucky because I have someone who I live with who's now become my manager just by default. And she's very connected. So these people are her friends. So she's kind of like introduced me to them on a very personal level. Nice. So I kind of have gone in, and had dinner with, like, you know what I mean? Like it's been very easy.
Yeah.
So it kind of has
casual,
removed the whole nervousness of meeting, I mean, Larry King is huge.
Yeah, massive.
And, I went to his home and I sat with him and his wife, who I just love. And, I'm going to be on his show soon. So I've got lots coming up, which is so exciting.
You.
Yeah.
You come to Los Angeles, the city of dreams.
And do you know who else I really, really, really like?
Tell me,
she actually lives near me now. Kyle Richards.
Oh, really?
I adore
Housewives
her.
of Beverly Hills?
Yeah, she's so sweet. She's so lovely.
She looks the most lovely
Can I tell you?
out of all of them.
Yeah.
Well,
Am I allowed to say that?
well, she is a really nice person.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect from her because obviously when you're on one of those shows, it's all about, drama and fighting. She couldn't have been sweeter.
Aw.
And I met her family and
That's adorable.
she was really sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you're here on our show today to talk about intuition because when you and I talk a lot, we talk about dating, you and I a lot, obviously. I can't imagine how.
I text him all the time, find me a husband.
Find me a husband, and I say, move to the U.S. And now he's like, I'm here. What do I do next?
Right.
So I said, okay. So the one thing that we talked about was everyone has this power within them. It's their intuition. And they don't use it. And we talked about this in depth a lot and why aren't people using their intuition? Why aren't people listening to it?
Usually, a person's intuition is the voice that they don't want to hear.
Right.
Because it usually tells you the truth. So most people don't want to hear bad news. And quite often in the dating world, there's a lot of bad news.
Yeah.
So that's just a very normal thing. So people don't use that inner voice that we all have because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth.
So walk me through. You're saying I have to listen to my intuition because it's going to guide me to the right place.
Yes.
And it's going to help me make decisions.
Correct.
Walk me through why I should do this.
Okay, I think that when you're in the dating world, so I'm going to give people some tips on what I think they should do in the dating scene. So number one is follow your gut instinct, which I think people should do in everything in life. If something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't. If there's a red flag, there's a red flag.
Right.
Don't ignore it. It's not saying don't trust the other person if they're saying, oh, don't worry about what you're feeling. It's just in your head. It's not saying dismiss that, but don't dismiss your own inner dialogue.
Right.
Because it's your survival mechanism.
And we have these feelings all the time. All of us have been on those dates where we're like, something just doesn't seem right. And you're just like, I don't know what it is. And we've had that. And sometimes we listen to it or sometimes we're desperate and we're like, but he's such a great guy.
Exactly.
I don't care if there's a knife in his pocket. It's fine.
Well,
It's
that's
totally
like,
okay.
That's like in my own world, I know this stuff, but still I'm a human being. So sometimes I will pick something up and I'll think, oh my God, I don't want to think that. I just want to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And it's not to take away from the moment. I think people should experience things as life lessons and grow from it. But, if you see crazy cross the street,
Right.
Don't sit down and have dinner with it because I'm telling you, there are people out there that aren't a match.
Yeah.
And you will save yourself a lot of heartache if you leave it when you should.
All right. So
Okay,
that's
so that's number one. Number two is really open your heart to the experience of love. A lot of people have been hurt, and that's obviously most of us in the world.
Oh, that's...
But what happens is that almost builds up some scar tissue in our energy, which makes us fearful. So when you're fearful, it will block the flow. So fear blocks flow, which means that if you have no flow in your life,
Right.
especially in dating, things aren't going to move forward.
And people are going to pick up on that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they're going to run away from you.
Yeah.
So sometimes people say, Like, I had a great date. Why won't you call me back? It's like maybe you were sending out the signals that you actually don't want love
Right.
because you think you do, but you don't.
Right, right, and
You know?
and some people don't get that they're putting off that energy. It could be physical, communication. It should be non-physical communication, but it's that energy deep down inside.
Right.
And we've met so many people that are like, "Ooh, bad energy."
Right.
That's when you're just like, "Stay away from that." person."
Totally. I think, you can protect yourself without closing your heart.
Yeah.
So be open to the experience and let yourself be loved.
Yeah.
And don't bring your past experiences into your present and your future, because then you're just living in the past.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's number 2.
Number 2, okay.
And number 3, actually, I'm going to, on a very spiritual level, I'm going to
Okay.
encourage people to
Go deep.
invest in some rose quartz.
Ooh, rose quartz.
Rose quartz.
Okay, what is rose?
Which is, it's okay, so for people out there that know about crystals and gemstones, rose quartz is a pink form of quartz.
Okay.
The story of it goes that Aphrodite, the goddess of love,
sold.
okay,
You don't
see,
need to-
right?
Don't
That-
need to tell me anymore.
that,
Sold.
that her blood fell into this clear stone and made this pink stone of love.
Oh my god, I love this.
That's
I
kind
didn't
of
know
the story,
that.
right? See, there's a bit of trivia.
I
for
thought it was
you.
just a Kylie Minogue album.
No, it's not. Are you saying that because she's Australian?
I love her. I'm gay. I love her.
Do you
I
know
mean,
she's actually from where I'm from?
look
Like,
at us
not far
derail
from
right
where I
now.
live.
I know she is.
How cool.
Girl, I love me some Kylie, and my husband loves some Kylie. Don't.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
invest in some rose quartz. So
Okay, sold.
and they can be very cheap. There are a lot of stores that sell those, tumblestone crystals. And
Oh my God.
actually, you know what? I've got one in my pocket.
Okay, now you're just messing with
I
me.
swear to God.
Did you set this up?
I was feeling it in my pocket. No, these are. I swear to God. Okay, that's rose quartz.
Okay, got it. So we just need to carry a little bit of this
Carry
around.
that on you. Put it under the pillow. Put it for girls.
love
They can put
this.
it in their bra if they want it near.
Oh, a little lumpy?
I know.
Yeah.
No. If
I
they want
don't
it on
have
their
3
skin.
nipples. It's my rose quartz.
Yeah.
That's really.
My grandma used to tell me that all the time.
What? That you don't have 3
I-
nipples?
Can I
What?
just say
Stuff the
something?
bra
by
with
the way?
rose quartz.
Okay, so I pick things up on people. I don't know if this is because you were next to me, but has your grandma passed?
Yeah.
Okay, did she ever tell you things about like crystals or rose quartz?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what is so freaking weird? As I'm telling this story, I heard a woman's voice say to me, "You've got it in your pocket." And I thought, who is this person? And then when you said your grandma, I'm like, oh my God, it's her grandma. So that's why I said, I'm going to stop you talking because I think your grandma's around you. And I think...
Every psychic
Oh my
picks her up.
God.
It's so
Okay,
weird.
and the fact that I brought up that story, and by the way, I didn't talk to you guys before about
No,
rose
you
quartz,
didn't.
did I?
You didn't.
Okay, it just came to me, and I heard a woman say that. That was your grandma. Is that your mum's mum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she's with you. Do you want me to just? Can I just?
Just-
give her a
Yeah,
little-
go,
Are
go.
you open to that?
Yeah.
Keep
Okay, I don't want to
going.
ambush read you,
I
but
hope I
just.
don't cry.
That's
Oh my
okay.
God! I know this was so unexpected. But I had to go with it, right? Like I told people, don't fear, just go with the flow, because your grandma is around you very much, and it's quite interesting because she's standing with a man who feels like he's your grandfather. Has
Yeah.
her husband passed?
Yeah.
Okay, they're together. What's really interesting is it feels like, did she go before he did? Because she met him. Because she just said, I greeted him on the other side.
Okay. I'm gonna
So he
cry
wasn't
now. What's
alone.
happening right now?
So it was almost like his transition, it feels to me, was like she came like beside the bed. I feel like he was in a bed. I don't know. I just see a bed and I see her spirit come towards him and almost like take him to the other side. So he was with her. They stand together. This was so unexpected. I'm just going to give you what I get.
Yeah.
They want to send their love to your mum. Your mum's a lovely person. You would be very close with her because they really care about your mum a lot. And what's really interesting is your grandfather is making me feel like he's aware of his hand being held. So I don't know if your mum was in the room or if your mum was actually present, but he's aware of the hand that was being held. Does that make any sense?
We both were.
You were as well? Okay, wow. Okay, I'm getting like literally chills.
I'm trying
Okay.
to compose myself over here.
Okay, this was so unexpected
Oh my God.
because he's saying I was aware of my hand being held. So I feel like it was your mum, and you said it was you too.
Yeah.
And he's grateful for you guys being there, and they're so in love. I see them on the other side. Your grandmother is very flamboyant. She's got this like over the top, almost like very gorgeous, and I see like big hair, and I see a very classy woman, and she's very spiritual. So she feels like she totally gets my world, and there's no coincidence that I was sitting next to you. This is so weird. Like, isn't that crazy? And she's lovely, and she misses you a lot, but you think of her all the time. And she says, "Don't forget what I taught you." And she's with your grandfather, and I don't know why, but they feel like they love to travel because I feel like they go overseas a lot. And they just told me that they can be with you here and they can be overseas, and their spirit is always with you and your mum. Your mum, she needs a hug. I feel like she just wants to be just hugged. She's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And her parents are telling me that she's going to be okay, and they want you to always be close to her. And I see you on the phone to her a lot. So, I don't know.
Hold on. I have to interject here.
Yeah.
What is the grandmother saying about her dating life? Can we get a
my
read
God.
on
Okay,
that?
well, she's saying keep the rose quartz. You don't keep it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
You got to keep the rose quartz. But she also doesn't want you to just settle for someone. So I actually think if you're single, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You've had some bad apples. And like everyone who's been hurt, I think you can kind of build a wall up a little bit. Your grandma's saying that you will have someone who will be the right person for you. Doesn't feel yet, but I think you're nearly ready. You're not ready yet. There's some project that you want to work on career-wise before you settle down, and I think that you will do that, but she will send you someone, and they're tall.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you like tall men.
They're all really tall.
Okay, yeah, you're going to gravitate towards someone really tall. And your grandma just said he will treat you right.
Well, there you go.
That was so random.
It's so funny.
And you...
Okay, wait, we have 30 seconds
Okay,
here.
30
so.
seconds. Okay. And I think there's a child on the way for you. So
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of big news around you.
well then.
So just you and
Is there a
Danielle.
reason why this was a rush wedding?
Right. Just you and Danielle, like, just be careful if you don't want one yet.
got it. All right.
Harry,
All right.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
stopping by. I'm
Amazing.
sure we could have done 3 more hours, but again, thank you for stopping by. For more on Harry, where can everyone find you?
Okay, so I'm on harrytofficial.com and my
Okay.
Instagram is @harrytofficial.
Thank you so much for stopping by,
Thank you.
hanging with the crew, doing a Danielle read, giving us a little sneak peek into
Ah.
the Shawn family to be determined here. I'd love to have you back again. It's so
Absolutely.
good to see you, sir. And then, of course, for everybody else watching out there, thank you so much for joining us. For more on Finding Cupid, head to finding-cupid.com. And, of course, you can download our free podcast on iTunes, as well as follow up on us at iHeartRadio. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful week. And until next week, have a lovely, lovely, love-filled day. Okay, everybody? We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
How crazy is that?
Crazy.
So what was so weird is I had this